Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. So in this video we are going to be reviewing Scooby-Doo Frankencreepy. Now I surprisingly really like this movie. It's really comedy horror based, which is really where Scooby-Doo comes into its own and really puts the gang into some truly terrifying life or death type situations. It has a brilliant setting. It has some impossible scenarios for the gang to get out of, and it's got a really rich backstory based mystery, which is really cool. And it also puts one of the gang members really integral into the storyline and puts them front and center of this mystery, which makes it really compelling but also makes it very high stakes based. So actually Scooby-Doo Frankencreepy is a really cool movie and I'm going to enjoy breaking it down for you in this video review. So from a storyline point of view, the film starts off by the character of Velma getting a call from her lawyer who tells her that she's inherited this castle in Transylvania from her late uncle. She then refuses to take this castle, at which point a ghost explodes the mystery machine, which makes Fred say that this time it is personal. They then embark on a truly terrifying life or death type situation on a train, which they're trying to get towards going to the Transylvania castle, which is where they learn that there is a curse, which means that they will lose something that is very dear to them. When they eventually make it to the town, the townspeople are really horrible to them because of the legendary Dinkelstein curse and the reputation that the Dinkelstein/Dinky family have. The gang then have to try to safely again make it all the way to the castle, which is where they're greeted by a really creepy housekeeper, and they also get to see the Frankencreep monster. So this time the gang have to try to make it out alive out of this very difficult situation. They have to defeat the curse, they have to defeat the monster, they have to defeat the ghost, and they also have to clear their name. So a lot of pressure and a lot of high stakes for the gang in this movie. So from a cast and characters point of view, honestly, the cast and characters of this particular Scooby-Doo special film is really cool. So let's go through the main gang members first. So first up we have Velma Dinkley, who's obviously the main character of this film, as the whole premise of this film is based on her family's legendary ancestry, and she loses her rational mind through the curse. We then have Fred, who loses his baby, which is the van of the mystery machine. We then have Daphne, who loses her beauty. We then have Shaggy and Scooby, who lose their hunger and acquire bravery instead, which is really interesting. We then have the housekeeper of the castle, and she is a very creepy type character. I feel like a lot of the characters from this film are based on video game characters, and you can really see how this character is really lifted and shifted from an early 90s/early 2000s point and click adventure game. Very similar to the lawyer as well, who I would also say is very creepy and very video game-esque. We then have the ghost that is causing a lot of terror for all of these different characters and really putting them in truly terrifying life or death type situations. We then also have the townspeople that are really not giving the gang a very welcome or warm reception to this new place, which the gang have obviously visited. And then we have the Frankencreep monster, which is obviously a rip-off of the Frankenstein monster, but this is a bit of a Scooby-Doo version of it. So from a cast and characters point of view, this special film is actually really awesome. So from a visuals point of view, Scooby-Doo Frankencreepy is actually pretty awesome. I know I keep saying it, but the gang really do find themselves in truly terrifying situations, which is actually quite a big deal for what is fundamentally a kid's cartoon. And the gang nearly do die on multiple occasions, and the visuals really do immerse you into that, which is really cool. I feel like the Transylvania castle and the townspeople and all of the characters in this place really do immerse you into this world as well, and you really do feel uncomfortable for the gang members as you're with them as they're entering this really creepy place where they're not really welcomed at all. And like I said before as well, I do feel like some of the characterizations, for example the lawyer and the housekeeper, really do feel like you're from an adventure game, which is really cool in terms of how they're placed in this film. So from a visuals point of view, overall I'd say Scooby-Doo Frankencreepy is actually pretty amazing. So from a comparison point of view, I definitely think Scooby-Doo Frankencreepy is definitely one of the better Scooby-Doo animated films, and I'd say it's on the same level as Abracadabra-Doo, Camp Scare, Return to Zombie Island, and Curse of the 13th Ghost. I'd say it's not necessarily as great as Zombie Island, that classic movie, the one that started off the animated film franchise, is definitely the best one. It doesn't necessarily match that level, but that being said, like I said before, it is definitely one of the better Scooby-Doo films and is definitely one to watch if you haven't seen it already. So overall, I actually really enjoyed Scooby-Doo Frankencreepy. I think it's such a brilliant film. I'm glad it was a lot more horror-based than maybe some of the other films have been, as this is definitely where I feel the Scooby-Doo franchise definitely comes into its own. I thought all of the characters are great, I thought the mystery was really, really great, I thought the world in which they created was really, really cool, and I just thought it was a really enjoyable film from start to finish, and so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give Scooby-Doo Frankencreepy a solid 7.5 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you think, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.